I refused to watch my sister's dogs after she told her friends I was between jobs and basically free, so I need to give some context first. I left my job in marketing about 2 months ago. It was a deliberate choice. I'd been there for 3 years, miserable for at least the last year and a half, and I finally reached a point where I decided I'd rather figure out what came next than keep doing something that was making me miserable. I had enough saved to take some time, so that's what I'm doing. I freelance, I apply for things, I take calls with recruiters a few times a week. It's not a vacation, I'm home more than I was before, yeah, but I'm not sitting on the couch watching Netflix from 9 to 5. My sister Dana has 2 dogs, a golden retriever named Biscuit and a Dachshund mix she calls Pretzel. They're fine dogs, a little chaotic together but manageable. I've helped with them before, taken them for weekends when she traveled, let them out when she had late nights at work. Normal stuff between sisters. She texted me on a Wednesday asking if I could watch both of them for 9 days while she and her boyfriend went to Portugal. Not a weekend, 9 days. I told her I needed to think about it because I had 2 freelance deadlines coming up and I was deep in a job application process, multiple rounds, a technical assessment, the whole thing. She said no pressure, take my time. 2 days later, I'm at my friend Jess's birthday dinner. Casual place, maybe 8 people. This woman named Claire, a friend of Dana's who I'd met once before at some birthday thing, was sitting across the table from me. At some point, she asked how I was doing, and then said, "Oh, you're Dana's sister, right? She mentioned you might be watching the dogs while she's in Portugal. She said you're between jobs, so you'd basically have nothing going on anyway." I smiled and said I hadn't actually decided yet. I don't think Claire thought anything of it. She moved on. But I didn't. I sat at that dinner for another hour and a half thinking about that sentence. Basically nothing going on. Dana hadn't waited for me to answer her. She'd already told her friends I was handling it, used my situation as something I'd shared with her, not with her whole social circle, as the reason nobody needed to stress about kennels or boarding. I was just the free option she'd already penciled in. I texted her when I got home, just asked what exactly she'd told people about me. She wrote back that she'd only mentioned I was between jobs and that it made practical sense since I was home anyway. I asked specifically what she said to Claire. She sent a voice note, which I hate, and I could already hear the eye roll in her tone before she even started talking. She said she'd just let her friends know I wasn't really doing anything right now and would probably be glad to help. Not really doing anything. I called her instead of responding to the voice note. She picked up and immediately said, "Please don't make this a whole thing." I said I wasn't making it anything, I just wanted to understand what she'd actually said. She said, "I said you were between jobs. That's just true, isn't it?" I said yes, it was true I'd left my job. It was not true that I had nothing going on. And it was definitely not something she got to volunteer me for and then announced to people without checking with me first. She said, "So you're saying no to me?" I told her yeah, I was. She went quiet. Then, "I was counting on you." I said I understood that, but she'd told people I was free before she'd even asked whether I was, and I wasn't going to rearrange things to fit a plan she'd already sold her friends on. She said I was being sensitive. I said 9 days isn't nothing, and what she told her friends about me isn't nothing either. She said fine and hung up. She called back the next morning with a softer approach. Said she was sorry if the way she'd described things came off wrong. She didn't mean it like that. She even said she thought having the dogs around might actually be good for me, give me something to do. She asked if I could at least do part of the trip, even just the first few days. I said no. She said Pretzel gets really anxious in boarding and she was genuinely stressed about it. I said I was sorry to hear that, but my answer was still no. Then she said, "So you're punishing my dogs because you're mad at me." I told her I wasn't punishing anyone. I just wasn't available. She found someone through a neighborhood Facebook group. The day before she left, she texted me one word: sorted.